You ever watch a cereal commercial and at the end of it, right before it's finished, it goes, oh, Count Chocula is part of your balanced breakfast. And it shows you what is supposedly a balanced breakfast. It's got a stack of pancakes, toast, eggs, bacon, a waffle, a glass of orange juice, a full pitcher of orange juice. And this apparently is a balanced breakfast. I guess here in the U.S., something like that would be considered a balanced breakfast. But last night was a balanced breakfast for all you Sniff Juniors out there. We had a little bit of everything. We had a little bit of pizzeria raw dogging where you called your local pizzeria owner who takes your bets.
Okay, why? What's the matter? My pizza's no good?
And you say, yeah, give me the Hurricanes and give me the Vancouver Canucks.
You got it, boss. Mateo, can you ring him up, please?
Looks like that pizzeria owner is going to be owing you a little more than a slice after last night. Then we had the little bump it up. Don't you know, bump it up in the Winnipeg Jets Rangers game. And the best part about that was we jacked up the price on the bump it up under by including no goal in the first 5 minutes, under 6.5. Brought that to plus money. Was a beautiful thing. And then there were those aforementioned Vancouver Canucks. Some trickle-down snakeonomics along the way. It was a balanced breakfast of sniffing on a Tuesday. And I bring that up because on Wednesday, it looks like we kind of got one of each. I'm seeing a pizzeria raw dog I like. I see a bump it up under that I like. And I see some trickle-down snakeonomics that I like. 1, 2, 3. But first, I just want to do some housekeeping with you guys. Have a couple announcements to make. Some are going to make you happy. Some are going to make you sad. Number one, the happy one. Are you a good news first or bad news first kind of person? The good news is tomorrow night, Thursday night, right around when the games start at 7, I'm going to be doing one of my live streams on the Patreon. I did it once. People seem to enjoy it. I think it's the new school. I feel like a freak TikToker, one of these people who just gets on the camera and they start like sewing something and people are watching them. Oh, and you know, like those, what do you call those SMR things where people are scratching microphones and watching. I feel like a freak, but people seem to enjoy them. And all I do is I have all the games on right behind the camera. And I'm just my schizophrenic self talking about what's going on in the games. And maybe potentially based on what's going on, give some live bets if I think it's a good idea or something like that. But you know how it is. If I even half suggest something, people are running to their sports books or calling their pizzeria owners, getting those bets in. So I'm going to do that tomorrow at 7 on the Patreon. And I do want to give you a heads up next week. Not this week, next week. I hate when people say next Friday. Hey, you want to go to the thing next Friday? The people who actually think next Friday is this Friday? No. That's this Friday. This coming Friday is this Friday. Next Friday is not this Friday, next Friday. So not this Friday coming up, the following Friday. I'm not going to be able to do picking corners, and I'm going to have to miss an episode or two of the show. You know, it's Easter. I'm going to spend some time with some family, got to travel, so I'm probably not going to be able to do it. I will be able to get in episodes. I'm going to try to get one on Thursday, but there's not going to be one on Friday, and there's not going to be picking corners. Just wanted to give you the heads up. Oh, how dare I go spend time with family. Anyway, let's get to this Wednesday night. We got 1-1-1. How about we start talking about some raw dogs that we like on this slate? And the first is going to be a team that just lost last night, and now they're getting right back on the ice. And I know you might think it has to do with my I told you, I already buried the Washington Capitals, and they've come back like Gus in Pet Sematary. This has nothing to do with that. This has more to do with something we learned earlier in the year, and the more I see it, the more I think it's true. A team who's out west on a long road trip, when they come home, they are very lethargic in that first game. They're slow. Granted, there's a lot on the line now, but I mean, how slow are the Capitals to begin with? You watch some of those games on the West Coast? How can you get much slower at all? But regardless, Toronto, a pretty fair price for a team that's clearly better, despite the fact that there's no Marner, and despite the fact that there's some sort of like line juggling going on somewhat. They came on strong in the third period of that game against the Flyers, and I think playing back-to-back nights is going to kind of benefit them. They've lost a few in a row, but we're getting an okay price. I'm not overvaluing whatever the hell these Washington Capitals are. They are bottom 5 in nearly every single metric in the NHL. It's like a unsolved mystery. Put this on Unsolved Mysteries. How the hell are the Washington Capitals where they are in the standings? It's so funny. We haven't had to talk about them literally since 2023. But here we are, Pet Cemetery style. And I'm going to be betting against them tonight. Give me the Toronto Maple Leafs as my Pizzeria Raw Dog pick of the night. And I will just note that Tyler Bertuzzi's been playing with Austin Matthews. He's on that top power play. His point prop is usually in the plus money. That's a pretty good value on Tyler Bertuzzi. He was able to score last night. After there, we're going to go, where we're going to go. We're going to bump it up. We're going to bump up the Minnesota Wild and the LA Kings. Why? Because we have two cheeks and both are able to be clenched. You have Minnesota, who needs to win every single game, essentially, to make the playoffs, get themselves right back in the race. And then you have the Kings, who are in that fight with Vegas back and forth, going for third in the Pacific, and whoever loses out on that is fighting for those wild card spots. Every point matters when there's two teams and everything matters. And you have the Kings, who I love taking under 6.5s on the Kings. That's a bump it up under 6.5. And I'm not going to be mad at you at all for doing exactly what we did last night. That worked out last night. No goal in the first 5 minutes, under 6.5. And that's only available on Fanduel. And as I mentioned on Picking Corners, they gave me a deal at OddsShopper for you guys on Fanduel that I'm going to put down below in the description of this video. You bet $5. If your bet wins and you're a new user, a new customer on FanDuel Sportsbook, you're going to get $200 in free bonus bets, free bet credits. Unless you're in North Carolina, then you bet $5 and you're getting $250 regardless. So they're really trying to get you over there in North Carolina. So if you're in North Carolina, you bet $5 on the under 6.5 in this game, you're getting $250 in free bonus bets. So I'm going to make sure that link is down below in the description of this video. I'll put it right under the page. All the links are always in the description of this video. So the under 6.5, no goal in the first 5 minutes. And sometimes one of the great things about FanDuel is you can take unders on goals. You can't do that on Draftkings. You can't do that on Caesars. You can't do that on BetMGM. The under on a player's goals is available in the same game parlay on FanDuel. As I told you guys on Picking Corners, I try not to talk about it too much on the Daily Show. I use each site for what they have. FanDuel allows you to really jack up the price on unders by doing sneaky things like no goal in the first 5 minutes, under on Zuccarello goal. There are options there to help juice your unders at FanDuel. Me and my friend have been saying Draftkings, that's offense with same game parlays and player props. FanDuel Sportsbook, that's defense when you're looking at unders and unders on goals and whatnot. So I'll take the bump it up under 6.5 in that one. Speaking of Draftkings, where you can combine player point props, that's where I'm going for this Coyotes-Dallas Stars game. These Dallas Stars have 3 lines that can score. I really like that third line and the values that their players provide. So I'm going to do that same thing that I mentioned about a week ago. I'm going to do that Ben assist with the Wyatt Johnston point. And I'm also going to do the Rupe Hintz, Jason Robertson point. Both of those guys for a point each. I'll take both of those guys for 2 points each. Just an extra sprinkle. I'm not saying throw in more money. I'm saying sprinkle it around like a roulette board. You see that plus 900 right there? That's at Bet365. I told you. FanDuel is good for unders and no goal in the first 5 minutes. Bet365, that's where you can blast these 2+ line mate point prop parlays. I really am impressed every time I say that. And if you need a deal for there, OddsShopper gave me that too. It's you bet 5. If you're a new user at Bet365, they're going to give you $150 in free bonus bets. The link for that is, you guessed it, down below in the description of this video. So all the new user deals, they're down below. Check those out and definitely take advantage of them if you hadn't. You only get one time to use a new user deal, so you may as well take advantage of that. That's what I got for you here on a Wednesday, ladies and gentlemen. Tomorrow, much bigger slate, and obviously I'm going to be doing that live stream at 7. Hopefully I see many of you there. I'm sure that I will. Good luck to you. Better luck to me. Do me a favor and make sure you are subscribed to my YouTube page here. Share these videos, like the videos, comment on the videos. Tell your dad about that. Your dad might enjoy. I probably have more in common with your dad. I'll try to tell you a very quick, funny story. This kid I know, his sister is dating somebody who's older, way older. And the boyfriend came over, and there's some kind of board game called like Generations or something. I don't know. But anyway, this girl's old boyfriend got all the same questions right as the dad. And I found that absolutely hysterical. This dad and this, you can picture, hilarity ensues, but it's not a TV show like The Prestige. It's real. I will see you guys tomorrow. Good luck.